Welcome to the Dray Way. I am so glad you guys are here. We have stuff to talk about. We are now, what is the countdown now? 44 days away. 44 days away from an election that is going to change all of our lives. Yeah, have you stopped for a moment to think about that? What this election is really going to mean to not just you, but to your family, to your friends. I mean, think about this. We're about to have a female president. Just stop for a minute and think to yourself, we are about to have a female president. There's been women leaders all around the world, so I don't know why I'm so surprised, but it's just to finally do it here in America and to finally see what it's like for a woman to run the United States. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. And the thing I like about the whole thing with Harris is she seems to be growing into the role. Every single day I see her, as the month has gone by, as the weeks have gone by, as the days have gone by, I just see her getting more and more comfortable because it had to be, like I said before, it had to be a shock to her, but now she seems to be wearing the whole thing really, really well. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, welcome to the countdown. We're at day 44, 44 days away. And one of the things I want to talk about is, I want to talk about you-know-who for a moment. I want to talk about the other guy, Donald, if you will. Because Donald, I was watching his speech today in Wilmington, North Carolina. First of all, I'm like, what are you doing in Wilmington, North Carolina? Because first of all, Wilmington, North Carolina isn't that big. And, Wilmington, North Carolina over the past few years has gotten more blue because it now has a thriving film industry in Wilmington, North Carolina. So I just found it to be an interesting choice. And to be honest with you, the way I feel right now, every single minute he spends in North Carolina, a state that he already won, that's a losing proposition for him. That is, first of all, I think he's already lost North Carolina. Just for the record, 44 days out, Trump's already lost North Carolina. Too many people in North Carolina are turned off by him and certainly his vice president. Yeah, J.D. Vance just gives everybody the ick. You know what I mean? Just everybody the ick. And I can see why, because here you are, J.D. Vance, making up stories about Americans in your own state. You made up a story, and that story impacted the entire town and could have cost people in the town their lives because you thought it would be what? An entertaining story? Yeah. Well, anyway, welcome to the countdown. I'm glad you guys are here. 44 days away. Let me know what you think in the comments. Tell me what you guys are thinking right now, because I'm thinking that today was a wasted day for Donald Trump. He was in North Carolina for no apparent reason. And I just think that his campaign isn't focused at all. And how can you be focused? I just saw the numbers of what the campaign took in. He only took in like $44 million. Now, the RNC took in more, but I'm talking about just Donald Trump only took in about $44 million. And Kamala Harris took in $190 million. With the DNC combined, they have like triple the money. And just so you know, she's not going to use all that money in the next 44 days. She has deep, deep coffers. So what is she going to do? She's going to spread that money around. She's going to be helping, down ballot. And that's going to be huge because we've already talked about it, but I think both Rick Scott and, Ted Cruz in Texas, I think they're in real trouble. I think they're in real trouble because they're terrible candidates. Speaking of terrible candidates, did you notice Mark Robinson, Trump's hand-picked guy to run for governor in North Carolina, he was nowhere to be found. You know, the black Nazi he calls himself, amongst other things. Yeah, I won't go into all the gross things he says, but you know, that's Trump's guy. That's literally Trump's guy, hand-picked. And funny, he's in Wilmington, North Carolina today, and guess who's nowhere to be found? Yeah, old Robinson was nowhere to be found. So I think the whole North Carolina thing is just a complete disaster. I just see it as, you know, wasted time that he has to be there. And I don't know if there's any recovering from this, because what Robinson has done is going to leak over into Trump on election day. It's going to leak over. And that election was supposed to be close anyway. But now, you know, my personal records, my personal poll that I use, the professional poll that I use, he's down by 3 percentage points in North Carolina. 3 percentage points. And he's down by over 4 points in Pennsylvania. So you know what that means, right? I mean, you know, if North Carolina is blue and Pennsylvania is blue, that's the election. That puts her at over 270. You can call the election now. So that's what's going on today. I don't know if you heard the other little tidbit, but the other thing that I heard is that Kamala Harris has accepted another date for another debate. Because think about this. If you're going up against somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about and lies, that is a wonderful person to debate. I want to debate that person as much as possible. When you lie and you don't know the facts, it doesn't get any better than that. That is like the ultimate person to do a debate with. So that's why I'm so sure. She's like, CNN, you want to do debate? October 23rd? I'm there. Let's go. Let's go make Donald look bad again. Let me use that line one more time. Donald, 81 million people fired you. 81 million people said, you're fired. Okay. A lot more to talk about. Let's change the subject. We got more to talk about. The next thing I want to talk about, and I want to talk about this because I have to admit, this is kind of getting under my skin. Have you read the SAVE Act yet? Have you read the newest idea from the Republicans to try to prevent women that have gotten married from voting, to make it difficult for them? Yeah, I want to talk about this because I struggle, and I mean struggle, with Republican women. When someone says they're a Republican and they're a woman, I just look at them and go, what is wrong with you? In all seriousness, what is wrong with you? I mean, you're part of a party that wants to make you a second-class citizen in every way. I mean, to have the government involved in your own body and what you can do and what you can't do, yeah, that's weird. Okay, that's beyond weird. You know, you would never see that happening to a man. You would never see us passing a law that says you have any right to anything that we do. I guarantee that. We would never be in this position. But you women have allowed yourself to be, and I say you women because it's you women that have allowed this to happen. And I'm talking specifically to Republican women. And now the SAVE Act is literally them trying to make sure you don't vote. Yeah. What, you have a driver's license? Oh, okay. Is it the same as your birth certificate? It's not the same as your birth certificate? Oh, then yeah, you don't have proper ID. You can't vote. How ludicrous is that? How nuts is that? When, as a woman, are you going to wake up and realize the Republican Party is not for you? It does nothing, literally nothing for you. And you're a part of this party. Why? Just stop and ask yourself, why am I part of the Republican Party? What is it as a woman that I want to be a part of this party? And please let me know in the comments. I am dying to know why you want to be a part of a party that is so against women. And I say against women because now we have examples of women dying. They're dying because they just simply couldn't get basic medical care. The very basic, they couldn't get. Something so easy that could have saved their lives. Yeah, they weren't allowed. So they died. They died. But it gets worse. More women are going to die. More women will die not getting the most basic care because doctors are too scared to touch them and lose their medical license. Because you guys are putting in wacky, crazy, nutty. You're putting in these laws. You're putting the government, like the government knows better than your own doctor. It does not. You guys tell us you Republicans tell us all the time how terrible the government is. So why do you want the government involved in women's bodies? Why? When all you do is tell us the government sucks, the government's terrible, the government's crap. You tell us this all the time. But when it comes to women and their medical choices, suddenly you want the government all involved. And I don't understand it. And I already mourn for those women that are going to die because you thought this was important. Because you continually vote for Republicans, and I just like to know why. Because here they are with the SAVE Act, trying to make it harder for you to vote. And there is no question about it. There's only one party. This is not a Democrat thing whatsoever. Democrats are not making it harder for people to vote. Nowhere. We don't do that. We want everybody to vote. There's only one party, only one, that across the country is trying to make it harder and harder and harder to vote. And that's Republicans. Sorry, that's a fact. It's not my opinion. That's a fact. Okay? And you have to be reminded of that constantly because you have a hard time accepting facts. Because you get your news from places that aren't really news. It's not really news. I mean, Fox News isn't really news. It's an entertainment show. That's all it is. It's not really news. They don't have a responsibility to tell the truth. They said that in court, by the way. No one should believe anything our personalities say. They didn't say they're reporters. They said they're personalities. No one should believe anything our personalities say. But yet I hear you guys repeat their words like they're gospel. Make it make sense. I just want to know why. I just want to know why you as a woman you're okay with more women dying. Why are you okay with that? I know it seems like I'm picking on you, but I mean, we would just like some answers. Because as a woman, I would think that you would want to back women. Because let me clue you in a little something that you, as a woman, you don't know. I promise you don't know this. You know what men do and have for centuries? We support other men because they're men. Yeah, we do it all the time. If it's a choice at the office between a man or a girl, we go, yeah, I'll take the dude. We've been doing it forever. The 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. It's only women that go, well, I'm not voting for her just because she's a woman. I'm not going to do that. And you know what we do? We go, okay, good, I'm taking the dude. So we got a few women votes. We got all dudes. All the dudes voted for the dude. The dude wins again. Dude wins again. Yeah. That's why men keep winning. And that's why they're in charge of all the companies and businesses. And that's why they're mostly all the CEOs and the head of big business and all that stuff. Because you women can't get it together and vote for another woman. You can't do it. I don't know why. But as long as you keep doing that, we'll keep having men in charge. So that's why I'm telling you now, if you're a Republican woman, no one's going to see you in that booth. You're going to be in that booth by yourself. And I just want you to, before you decide what to do, I want you just to think in your heart and in your soul, am I really doing the right thing by voting for some old rich guy that has never needed anything in his life? Do I really need to vote for this old man, this almost 80-year-old man? Or am I going to, for once, take the side of women and promote a woman to the top? Think about it. Just think about it, because you're in that booth by yourself and you have the power to change history. Voting for him, voting for the old guy, that's not going to do anything to change history. Not in a positive way. Think about it. Well, that wraps it up, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been day 44. This is the 44 days until Election Day. Don't forget if you haven't seen prior episodes, please take a look. Always remember, we got 43 episodes to go. There's an episode every single day. I hope you come back and see me. If you have not subscribed yet, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? And don't forget, I'm over on TikTok too. Drayton Nay, at Drayton Nay. Yeah, over at TikTok. Don't tell anybody I told you. We'll see you later. Have a great day, everybody.